Let's get to the new list. Who have been the 10 best performing quarterbacks so far through week 3 in the college football season? This is fun here because there's some new names that we haven't really talked about and guys that have really played well. I'm going to go 10-1, try to hold some suspense right here. At number 10, and there were a lot of guys that I debated here at 9 and 10. Just a few names that aren't going to make the list that, well, before I let me just go through the list and keep some level of drama. There you go. Number 10 is going to be Julian Sayin at Ohio State. I see it. It's there. He leads college football in completion percentage at 79%. He does play in rhythm. He had a couple of poor decisions last week against Ohio that led to interceptions. They largely protected him against Texas, and they did not ask him to do much in the passing game. I think that it was there, and it could have been a lot better, but they protected him. The things that he did execute against Texas, again, and you can go back to the shows that I talked about this game a couple of weeks ago. I thought he played very well against Texas. He protected the football. His feet are in rhythm. He plays in balance. The ball leaves his hand on time. Generally, it's on target. He's a very accurate passer. You don't throw for 79% unless you're an accurate passer. And these are, a lot of them, big completions. He's not just throwing screen passes for 79%. He's throwing the football down the field. Happens to be to really good wide receivers. And yeah, he's got a lot of help around him. But Sayin has been very good so far this year, so he's number 10. At number 9, nobody's talking about this team or this player, but Jaden Maiava at USC has played spectacular football so far in these first 3 weeks. I know that their level of competition has not been great, but when you look at the statistical categories for quarterbacks around the country, Maiava is right up there 1, 2, and 3 in a lot of categories. 330 yards per game, an FBS best 14 yards per attempt, which is wild. And he looks very comfortable. I was able to watch a lot of their game against Purdue. I don't think that they played their best against Purdue, but this is a scary team moving forward. Maiava is playing really well, and he certainly earned a spot on this list. He's been one of the 10 best performers at the quarterback position. At number 8 is going to be Joey Aguilar from Tennessee. He's been terrific. Even with a loss to Georgia, he played an insane game against the Georgia Bulldogs. I've been incredibly impressed with what he's done in that offense so far. I think he's a good fit for that offense. They won the trade. He's a better fit. The offense is explosive. All things that Tennessee fans are like, wait, am I hearing these things come out of Joel Klatt's mouth? Yes, I'm going to call balls and strikes when I see it. And so, in particular, we got one Tennessee fan, Miss Becky. Miss Becky has been texting some people on our staff, and Miss Becky was like, Kat got this. So Kat's a Tennessee fan. Our producer in the chair, Catherine, is a Tennessee alum. I'm sure you're all shocked to hear that. Well, Kat gets a text from Miss Becky. It's like, hey, girl, you tell your guy that he better watch what he says. Our message boards are filled with his name. I'm aware, Miss Becky. I get it. And listen, I'm going to call a spade, and I'm going to compliment when compliments are deserved. And right now they are deserved because Joey Aguilar has been terrific. The offense has been explosive, in particular with some of those wide receivers on the outside. So Aguilar is number 8. Even in a loss, I think he's been one of the 10 best performers so far at quarterback. At number 7, how about Rocco Becht at Iowa State? Did not make my top 10 in the spring. He was right there. I mean, right there. His dad, Anthony, actually gave me the business a little bit. I was doing a UFL game the next week, and he was like, really? Rocco's not one of the 10 best players? Here he is, Anthony. Rocco's certainly one of the 10 best performers so far of the season. I don't think his numbers are going to do it justice. Again, this is not just the leading passers. This is guys that have gone out and performed in big moments. The game that he played against Iowa, I thought was tremendous, and if you really boil it down, during that game, Gus and I, and more specifically me, I kept talking about the fact that this team believes that all they need to do is be close, because if they're close in the fourth quarter, they've got that guy. They've got Rocco, and we're fine because Rocco's in the building. And we set that up all game, and then the situation came about. Tie ball game, and he walks onto the field, and what does he do? Deliver. I love it when guys deliver like that, and Rocco is clutch. He's a great leader, and he's been one of the 10 best performers. At number 6, I'm going to go to Florida State, Tommy Castellanos. His numbers are not going to blow you out of the water, and more specifically because they've only actually played 2 games. They beat Alabama. They've played kind of a nobody. But, man, that performance against Alabama, And it's not what he did on the stat sheet, just everything else that he did. Providing the energy, the short area quickness, his ability to be a threat in the running game, his ability to throw the football down the field. It clearly changed them. And what we've seen from Alabama now, how much more highly do we think of Florida State? Because Alabama has turned it around in a lot of ways. And by the way, I'll give you some thoughts on Alabama a little bit later in the show. But Castellanos has clearly earned his way onto this list. Okay, now we get into the top 5. Who are the top 5 performers at quarterback so far this year? At number 5, let's go tough, gritty, experienced. Give that man the rock, Haynes King. How about Haynes King? Taking down Clemson. They beat Colorado in the opener, did not play in the second game. And again, his numbers are not going to just like jump off of the stat sheet, but it's what he does for his team, the belief that his team has in him, and the warrior that he is running the football, man. This guy almost beat Georgia at Georgia last year. That's the longest winning streak, by the way, in college football, is Georgia at home. Haynes King almost took him down a year ago, took him to overtime. That was an incredible game. What does he do on Saturday against Clemson, which is clearly the tough opponents that Georgia Tech has played so far? 25 carries, warrior, give him the rock, lead them to victory. That's what gets you on this list, man. Performance, big stage performance. And Haynes King gets in my top 5. He's number 5. At number 4, I've got Gunnar Stockton for Georgia. The throws he made against Tennessee in crucial moments were spectacular. Spectacular. And man, when you do that, you earn your way onto lists like this. That is a remarkable performance. He led his team back after being down 21-7 in one of the great environments in all of college football. That's really tough to do. Stockton was excellent. The 4th down throw. Wow. Like, just, you bet. 300 yards in the game, huge comeback, 4th down throw. It's the calm that you provide your team in order for them to execute when panic certainly could enter into the equation. When you're down a couple of scores in that environment, the tendency is, and the human nature is, to panic, to go too far, to do too much. You've got to have somebody, typically the quarterback, pull the reins back and say, hey, we're all right. All right, we're just going to go out there and execute the next play as best we can, and then we'll snap it again and execute the best we can. And eventually we're going to look up at that scoreboard and we're going to win the game. And that's what happened. Thanks to a missed kick, but that's what happened. So Gunnar Stockton in the top 4. Now my top 3. Number 3, I'm really impressed with this guy. This is a little bit of a bet on a future here. I think this guy is going to wind up in New York as a Heisman finalist. He can do it all. Dante Moore, the quarterback at Oregon. Dante Moore is a sensational player. Sensational player. Oregon has scored 17 touchdowns and kicked 2 field goals in the 22 drives he's been on the field this year. He is accurate. He plays on the right timing and in the right rhythm and with the proper balance to throw the ball really well down the field. They got weapons everywhere. He's very smart, gets them into the right play constantly. Their offense is already moved to a point where it was with Bo Nix in his second year rather than where it was with Dylan Gabriel last year in terms of the intricacies, what the quarterback is going to handle at the line of scrimmage, whether that's in protection or killing to a different concept, whether it's run or pass. He's handling all of that. So he's got that preparation side, and then the skill jumps off the tape to me. I think that he is excellent, and just again, I think that this guy is going to New York. Top 2 quarterbacks so far performing this year. Number 2, Carson Beck. Looks great at Miami, man. I tell you what, I had a lot of questions about what was going to go on with the health of his arm because of that elbow surgery, but he has been terrific. He has been terrific, and he has changed in a lot of ways Miami. Now, they had an absolute dog at quarterback last year. Cam Ward was awesome. They did not have the defense to go along with it. Now they have a defense, and they seem to have replaced Ward at quarterback. And so Carson Beck and that team, to me, clear favorite in the ACC. Maybe with Castellanos and Florida State, but clearly those two teams light years ahead of Clemson. And we thought Clemson was going to be an ACC champ and a national champ. But no. Carson Beck on the prowl, playing really, really well. And number 1, He was my number 3 in the spring. I thought he was going to be good. He has been good and maybe even better than advertised. John Mateer at Oklahoma. John Mateer has played excellent. Has he made a couple of mistakes, turned the football over? Yes. Are his numbers as good as some of the other guys on this list? No. But he goes out there and elevates the play of everyone around him. We saw that against Michigan. Okay? He can go to a different level and give his team a chance to win the football game, be the reason that they win a football game. Mateer has been excellent. He put OU on his back in so many ways against the Wolverines. He goes out there, he's averaging 35 passes and 11 runs for 368 total yards per game. He's accurate when he throws the football. I think they need to get the run game going from the running backs around him so that he doesn't have to quite share the run load that he has had to early in this season. But man, this guy right now, if I had to hand in a Heisman ballot right now, it would be John Mateer. I think he's been the most impressive player, the best player, the most impactful player in college football through 3 weeks. He's been terrific. So there's my 10. The 10 best performers so far this season. Number 10, Julian Sayin. Number 9, Jaden Mayava at USC. Number 8, Joey Aguilar. 7 is Rocco Becht at Iowa State. 6, Tommy Castellanos from Florida State. Great win over Bama, obviously. The Warrior Haynes King at number 5. Gunnar Stockton at 4. Remarkable comeback last week. Dante Moore with all of his skill and preparation at 3. Carson Beck looks like he is healthy again and has wide receivers that'll catch the ball on the outside, which he didn't have a year ago. He's at number 2. And John Mateer has been the best performer so far in college football, putting that team on his back, going out and winning a game. Here's my honorable mention. I did want to throw out, there were a lot of guys that I felt like I could have included on this list. And so I'm sure, and please leave a comment down below, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with this list because there are some omissions. I will be the first one to give you that. There's no doubt. Marcel Reed at Texas A&M didn't get him on there. Probably could have or should have. Diego Pavia. He's played well for Vanderbilt. Baron Morton. He's played really well at Texas Tech. Devin Dampier at Utah. Going to see both of those guys for Big Noon Saturday this week in Utah. Luke Altmaier, on my list in the spring, has played great. Didn't find a way to get him on this list, and he's been terrific. Bryce Underwood last week for Michigan. Ty Simpson, after the loss to Florida State, has been unreal the last couple of weeks. Fernando Mendoza, the Cal kid. What is it? Song of Polotu, I think is, correct me if I'm wrong, but the freshman at Cal has been great. They beat Minnesota last week. Thank you for watching the Joel Klatt Show YouTube channel. And if you liked this clip, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel, and you can stay up to date on all of my college football coverage.